camera? Oh, just a camera?
It's video.
Yeah, really? Cool.
Yeah, but it's high def, so it really gets good still shots too. I don't know. Is this Roger Hedgecock coming out?
You're not Roger Hedgecock.
No, he's not.
Retired employee in disguise.
Government pension, okay. 40,000 units.
Right.
On a government pension. That's awesome.
What we're doing here, folks, is we're taking this limousine around the state to basically highlight the outrageous pensions that are really breaking our state government.
How can you afford the gas, sir?
How can we afford the gas? That's a good question.
Tell us again what you're doing here.
Well, I'm a government retired employee in disguise, but actually I'm the State Director of Americans for Prosperity in California, and we're taking this limousine around the state to show that California taxpayers are now going to be on the hook again for the outrageous way that Sacramento and our state legislators and many times city government spend our money. They believe that taxpayers are like an ATM machine and they can basically take money from and spend it however they like. And when it comes to our pension liability here in the state of California, it's estimated it's between $300 billion and $700 million. So we're averaging probably $500 billion in pension liability in this state. And that's a liability that's going to be the responsibility of the California taxpayer. So on average, you know, we have a situation where we've had a 2,000% increase in pension benefits over the last 10 years. We used to have reasonable pensions, we've gone to Cadillac pensions, now to limousine pensions, where we have in the state of California over $100,000 a year being paid to 16,000 employees, and about 5,000 of those are from the teacher pension system. And it's simply unsustainable. We're making millionaires out of people in their retirement, and they're making far more money retired, they're making far more money not working than they were when they were last year.
So then, just your point, what is the best way to affect change here to make things turn this around? How is this going to happen? We kind of know the scenario that it's going to play out. So how, your message affects change?
There has to be some radical change in how we're looking at how we do pensions, and it has to be something where everybody feels pain. Right now, the taxpayers are feeling pain, and our 401ks are losing benefits and everything like that. We don't have a government guarantee on this. So we really need to go to a defined contribution level, a defined benefit system in the state of California. It's really the only way that something like this is sustainable in the long term. And the Little Hoover Commission and nonpartisan Little Hoover Commission has basically said that this is not sustainable, that we are going to have a situation where government will be crushed by this. In fact, the pension system will run out of money by 2026 as it currently stands. So something radical needs to be done. The first place to start is cutting these lavish, outrageous pensions where people are becoming millionaires, retired, and making more money not working than they were when they were actually working.
Okay, well, a lot of people want to talk to you, so let's just move forward. Thanks for your time. I was going to take you by
Thanks for coming by.
Roger?
How are you? Nice to see you.
You like our car? You like the car?
Great. Great.
So San Diego, where Roger's from, has some interesting pension issues. They basically had to close down 5 fire stations because of the firefighters' pension issue and what that was costing the city. And of course, they went to the taxpayers last year and said, look, we want to raise your taxes in order to fund the pension costs that we're facing. The taxpayers said, no way. It was like 65% shot that down and said, no, we're not going to have you, because you made irresponsible decisions years ago, raise our taxes to pay for these pension benefits. The problem is that local services are being impacted by this, and the taxpayer, who doesn't mind paying taxes when he's getting something in return for his money, but when they're asking you to pay even more in taxes and get even less for your money, we've got a problem.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here, and I'm not as well dressed as Spady, but I'm delighted to be here because he's exactly right. In our municipalities, wherever you're from, here's what's happening. We had a librarian, beautiful lady, many years a librarian in San Diego, the chief librarian. She made about $150,000 a year. She retired under our pension program in the city of San Diego at $225,000 a year. How can we do that? There's no way. We have rules, and I'm sure you all have pension plans like this, so it comes as no shock to you that you could retire at the absolute top pay you've ever got in that job, and then add up all the sick pay, all the other time off stuff that you didn't use, add that up, and then get 90% of that for the rest of your life. That's the kind of thing that taxpayers cannot afford, and the reason that we have deteriorating public service in San Diego, and the reason we've got to turn this around. We now have in our town government of, by, and for the bureaucrats instead of by, and for the people. And that's the long and short of it.
Well, we're taking this limousine around to highlight both the local issues like you have here in Santa Barbara, where actually 35 cents out of every dollar spent on pay here in Santa Barbara is spent on pensions. In Fresno, it's 53 cents on every dollar. And they're saying that this is going to double in the next 10 years. So every time that happens, every time we put off a little longer some real reforms, it's going to be more cuts to city services. The city of Costa Mesa just laid off half of its workforce because of the pension issue. Newport Beach is looking at doing something similar with major layoffs. So this is not something that is being really talked about the way it should be by our friends and supposed representatives in Sacramento, and it is something that probably more than anything else down the road is going to absolutely crush our government here. So it's a tsunami waiting to happen. We're glad you guys were all able to come out here for Roger's show. We actually got slowed up a little bit with an accident on the freeway, but we're glad to be here and to participate in the show today.
This car, which does not have Al Gore in it, even though it's running. This car tells it like it is. The lifestyles of the rich and famous now are people in government. Michelle Obama said in the campaign in 2008 to young people at a college graduation that the opportunities in life would be in government service. That if they wanted to make a good living, they would have to go and work for the government. In the United States of America, I found it the most shocking thing of a shocking campaign that I heard the entire time. But here's the key. Our local debate, people can understand that we have fewer cops because too many of them retired at too much money. People understand that no matter what your party is. So that in San Diego, as David mentioned, we had a vote on this subject. Should we raise sales tax in order to hire more cops? And people knew that it wasn't a problem of revenue to hire more cops. It was a problem that they had given too much money to people to retire as cops. We have people as cops, I don't know, do you have this in your wonderful neighborhoods where they retire, then they're hired again as consultants at the old rate. Now they get 2 salaries to do the same work. So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody, Democrat, Republican, Independent, I don't care who you are, in the neighborhood, they understand that's wrong. And we have been getting tremendous political support. It's very hard, and I try to do it every day, to explain Washington, to explain Sacramento. But it's real easy to explain that your librarian shouldn't make $2.25 a year in retirement.
No.
All right, well, I know you got to do your show.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, AMP.
Something we can do?
Sure, well, we have some sign-up cards if you want to say hi to us.
Alrighty, here we go. Show on the road. You know, it's around 30% of what she has.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No way.